What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the aftershock of a toxic relationship. When you leave a toxic relationship with a narcissist or a toxic person, what happens next? How do you start the healing? Stay tuned, like and subscribe for more. Thank you. One thing that a lot of people don't prepare for when you leave a narcissistic or toxic relationship is the aftershock that comes with the end of the relationship. And if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. I actually have narcissistic personality disorder. So I had a Zoom call recently with a woman, and she was asking me what to prepare for next after she left her toxic, possibly narcissistic husband. And I told her, prepare for the grieving process. Because even though you get out of the relationship dynamic, sometimes the feelings are still going to be there. The feelings just don't go away after 5, 10, 15, sometimes 25 years of being with someone. So although the earthquake of the relationship is over, there could be some aftershock coming soon. And sometimes the aftershock comes in the form of a trauma bond where you still are addicted to the person. It hurts not to be with this person. You miss them consistently and constantly and things like that. But you need to stay strong in your resolve and your decision to leave this toxic relationship dynamic. Keep telling yourself the truth that this person was not the one for you. Write this stuff down. Journal this type of stuff. Stay safe. Stay strong. So, aftershock, the earthquake, how to describe it in the video, the earthquake of the relationship, y'all. Once you get out of the earthquake that is a toxic relationship, once the walls have stopped shaking, once the floor has stopped splitting, once the picture frames and things like that have stopped falling off the wall, you have to sit in, the relationship is over now. Sometimes there's a period, there's a feeling of relief. I've had people post videos when they're leaving their toxic relationship and things like that, and they're headed to a new life or whatever, and they're super ecstatic, they're super happy, they're celebratory and things like that. They enjoy, like, you can feel their energy, they're super happy. But other times, like right after that, might come a crash. You might feel a relief from being safe, from getting away safely, from getting a chance to start your new life and things like that. But sooner or later, there might come a crash. I'm talking about a crash when you're driving on the highway to the new spot. I'm talking about an emotional crash, because it's over. It's over. You made it out. Are you going to stay out? There's so many questions you have to ask yourself. You made it out. Are you going to stay out? Because so many people get into these situations where you get in their car, you drive off to your new life, and then you get down the street a couple weeks, couple months, couple years later, and you flip back, you drive back into that same driveway that you drove away from. Is it completely over for you? Leave when it's completely over for you, because you don't want to make that drive back. I promise you. Because you're driving back into the earthquake. You're driving back into the fault lines. You're like, oh, the new house you have is directly above a fault line. So there's gonna be an earthquake. It's gonna be you're gonna when you go back home, it's gonna be good for the first 2-3 weeks, first 2-3 months, but then the ground is gonna start shaking again. You can feel it too. The ground is just start shaking again slowly. Like you can start getting a silent treatment. No more communication. You know what I mean? No, the communication has stopped. Pictures on the wall will start shaking. They get snippy at you for something little. They don't communicate with you anymore. You see that shaking? It's shaking again, because you know you're not supposed to be here. It's emotional shaking. It's not the real shaking in the world. It could be real. You could be going back to California somewhere where earthquakes happen, But it could be just your emotional shaking. You know you're not supposed to be there. So when you leave, prepare for this, y'all, because it's coming. It might come. You're gonna be overwhelmed sometimes. You might be sitting in bed at night, sitting on your front porch at night, your new house, just chilling. You're like, dang, I made it out. And you go in the bedroom, it's quiet in there, and you just boo-hoo cry. You start boo-hoo crying. Because you have to mourn the loss of something that's still there. You have to mourn the loss of a person that's still there. You got 25 years into this. You know what I mean? That person's still there. They're still alive. You drove away from them. They didn't pass away. They're still there. And you have to realize, you have to understand the dynamics, because sometimes when you drive away, sometimes when you finally sign those divorce papers, sometimes when you finally break up with them and move away from them, you go no contact, you realize that this is the last time you're going to see this person. You're going to hear this person's voice. You're going to talk to this person. In any way, this is it. 25 years later, boom, done. You go from every day talking to this person, or not talking to them, doing the silent treatment. Every day from being around this person, interacting with this person, knowing that this person was there, and now they're not there anymore. Your next 25 years is going to be spent without this person. So what's next? What's next? Freedom is next, but you have to want it. You have to want it. You have to get it. The trauma bond is super strong. We understand the dynamic. I know the trauma bond is strong. I know it's tough to break. I understand that times 1,000,000. I promise you I get it. You know what I mean? But the more and more you deal with it, the more you embrace it and deal with it, understand the dynamic, the trauma bond is broken. And you, I said, me personally, I don't, at the end of these relationships, when you leave, yeah, you might still feel like you're in love with this person, but I don't think you love them anymore. You love what you did love them, but I don't think you love them anymore. And if you do love them, you can love them from a distance. You don't have to hate them. I didn't say you hate them. I just said you don't love them the way you used to. You can love them as a person. You can love them as an ex-husband, ex-wife. You can love them as the father of your kids, the grandparent of your grandchildren, this, that. You can love them that way, but you don't have to love them. You don't have to love them and not allow access to them. Me personally, I don't think you love them anymore. I think you're trauma bonded to them. I think you're still addicted to them when you get out of it. And sometimes the addiction is hard to kick. You can't eat, you can't sleep, you're shaking, you're up at night, you're tired, you don't go to work, you quit your job, you have low energy. But guess what? Fight through it. You got to keep fighting. The ground's not shaking anymore. Your balance is there. You so used to walking on wobbly legs because you never knew what was going to happen. You never knew when an earthquake of this relationship was going to happen. You never knew when an earthquake was coming. You know, when look, everything's cool when you at home by yourself chilling. There's nothing going on. But as soon as they get home at 5 o'clock, it's 4:55. The ground starts shaking. You don't know which person to expect is going to walk through that door. Now you do, because they're not walking through that door anymore. You're walking through that door. Nobody's walking through that door. Unless you allow them to. Prepare, because in these toxic relationship dynamics, you've been stifled for so long. You haven't been able to be your true authentic self for so long because this other person didn't allow it around them. That's why a lot of times when you're in these toxic relationships with narcissistic people, you would rather be around your friends than be around this person. Because you get to be free and be yourself around your friends. If that narcissistic person isn't blowing your phone up or being crazy and acting foolish while you're out. But now you can do that. You go out with your friends. You might have, the trauma might still be there, right? You go out with your friends. You're checking your phone consistently. See this person going to reach out. They block. They can't reach out no more. Enjoy your night. Prepare for y'all. Prepare. Because aftershocks. So they're gonna be little mini quakes while you're at home. Little mini quakes. They might hack it. They might find a way to reach out to you. Mini quake. Block it. The ground settles. They might reach out to you through a mutual friend. Mini quake. Tell your friend to stop doing that. Block them. Ground settles. You ready for that aftershock, y'all? That super aftershock. And shout out to the woman who came up with the term aftershock. I had a one-on-one with her a couple of days ago. Thank you. I won't name you because who knows who it is, but you know who you are. But prepare. I told her to prepare for some lonely times. But it's freeing. Prepare to be bored sometimes. Prepare to be bored, y'all. It's just boredom. It's like I said, I use the word boredom because that's the easiest way to describe it. But it's not boredom. It's peace. It's peace. It's peace. It's going to seem boring. It's going to feel boring. But it's not boredom. It's peace. You're at peace now. Take your power back. You've made it this far. You made it far enough to take your power back. What's next for you on your journey? What's next for you? I need to know. I want to know, what's next for you on your journey? What do you want to do? Go out and do some or all of the things that toxic person held you back from. That toxic person made you feel less than for wanting to do. Go write that book. Go write that poem. Go write that song. Go to the bar. Go see your friends. Go visit your mom. Go talk to your dad. Do what you want to do, y'all. You can do what you want to do now. The clasp are off. It's like I said, it's like getting out of a prison. You're free now. I said, just prepare for it, because it's not always going to be smooth sailing. I promise you. On the ocean might be super clear one day, and it's like the perfect wind. It's like you're just sailing on the seas like Moana. You got your hair in the breeze and all this other stuff, and there comes a thunderstorm. Here comes to Ka, to Ka throwing fireballs at you. To Ka as a narcissist. You know what I mean? But that's the dynamic of it, though. That's how it goes. So if you're dealing with narcissistic and toxic people, and you finally get out of it, you are empowered to be you. You are empowered to be your most authentic self. You just are. This is you. This is your life. You get to live it the way that you want to live it. You know what I mean? So power up. Yeah. And like I said, you don't have to hate them to move on. You can mourn. Look, you have to. I tell people this right here. Once you leave that person, and they're still alive most times. Once you leave that person, you get out of it. You have to have a mental funeral. You have to have a mental funeral where you bury this person. You mentally bury them. You have to burn all the stuff. Mentally burn all the stuff. I've had people make a physical representation. I've had people make a physical representation of the mental funeral and make it like some woman online created like this little coffin, and she put some old stuff in there, some old pictures and things like that, old gifts, and she burnt it. I had another woman, Amanda. She had a fire pit and she started throwing old wedding pictures and stuff in there, and she lit it on fire and she danced around it. She did a rain dance before she doused it. You know what I mean? She had a smash pit. She went and smashed pictures and broke stuff. It was cathartic for her. It was a release. It was a time of release for her. And now she's in a happy relationship right now. I watch her. It's my homie. I watch her. So man, if you're watching this, you're my homie. But yeah, that's how you go. Like you have to, just prepare for it, y'all, because it's not always gonna be smooth sailing. Sometimes it's gonna be like I said. Sometimes it'll be some rocky times, y'all. It'll be a little rocky here and there, but you got it. You made it this far. If you made it this far, you can make it anywhere. I promise you. So keep empowering yourself and understand this dynamic. You made it this far. You're a thriver now. You're a thriver now. Victim, survivor, thriver. The thrivers drive away and they don't drive back. The thrivers get out of the earthquake. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into another episode. I really, truly appreciate every single one of y'all, because as much as y'all say y'all learn from me, I promise you I'll learn even more from y'all. Stay empowered, stay strong. Mental Illness is out. Peace. Like and subscribe to. Thanks.